Okay, I've been working on my numbers program and I'm ready to submit it to Hypergrade. I have a couple of other things on that assignment though that I needed to do, and I remember I need to remove these unused using directive clause entries because they're unnecessary, so I'll get rid of those. Let's see, I've got my comments. I think everything looks pretty good. My answers seem to be right, so I'm going to save all before I mess with any of my code. Okay, let's see what our instructions said. Remember, you can click either on the link to the project or the submit button. I'm going to click on the link to the project to get the description, and I am supposed to take away semicolon, comment out a declaration for a variable, a couple of other things. Okay, so let's go right here and take out that semicolon. You saw earlier that it puts a red squiggly line there, and if we mouse over it, we get the message semicolon expected. Down here in our error list, again, if you're not seeing that, go to your view menu, turn on your error list. It gives us a code. It tells us that a semicolon was expected and a line number. Again, if we double click on this message, it'll take us right to the spot. But we could also turn on line numbers in our editor. That might be kind of helpful. Let's see how to do that. You're going to use your Tools menu, and on your Tools menu, find your options. There are many, many different options. Mine has already expanded a little bit. Close everything up, and what you're looking for at the high level here is the text editor option. If you click on the little triangle beside that to expand it out, you'll see we have text editor settings for many different language types. We want to look at the editor settings for C#. If I expanded the category using the triangle again, I would see many more settings. I'm just looking at the general options right now. That's enough for us today. I'm going to go ahead and turn on line numbers so that I can see those line numbers and know where my error messages are pointing to. And there they are showing up beside my green bar that tells me whether I need to save things or not. And I know now that I need to put that semicolon back in, and that error should go away. Okay, the next thing was to comment out a variable declaration. So let's get rid of one of our important ones. Let's try num2. We use it all over the place. There we have a whole bunch of squiggly lines show up, and all of them are like, what's going on? What's going on? I don't know what num2 is. We see down in our error list that it says that num2 does not exist. I just don't know what it is. If I mouse over one of those errors, again it says the name does not exist. I can show potential fixes by pressing my control key and plus sign. Let's do that. And it says, hey, you might try some things here. Generate a field, generate some code. So this would generate some code for you. Let's try it. Where did it put it? It's somewhere. It generated some code for us. And it's kind of hidden, so I don't really like that very well. I'm going to undo and get all my errors back and uncomment out my declaration, because then I know exactly what's going on in my program, and so do people that are following along behind me. So that took care of that problem. Notice how that generated some errors, what our fix was. Need to be thinking about things like this as you're developing on your own. If you see a bunch of errors show up, do you have a typo? Little typo in your variable name? What if I accidentally had 2 lowercase letters there? Same thing, right? The variable is not declared. I have it. I have it up here, but it's not the same. So it's very important that things be typed exactly the same. C# is very sensitive to things, and it is case sensitive. Okay, what else did we want to check? Oh, comment out one of the closing braces. And I think we did this last time, but let's try it again. I'm going to comment out this one down here for my main. And I get an error, and it's pretty helpful. It says, hey, I expected a closing curly bracket. Now the thing about it is, notice that it's not at the right location. You have to kind of figure out what curly bracket you're missing. So in this case, it's easy. We can uncomment it. We know that we took care of that problem. So be real careful with your curly brackets, your curly braces. They can be a big, big source of errors in C#. Lastly, comment out our using. We should get all sorts of errors on all of our console statements, because remember, those are system programs, system functions that we can use that let us interact with the console. So every single one of them is mad at us. So I better put that back. Okay, all is well. Now I'm ready to submit this program to Hypergrade. I have Hypergrade open, because I was just looking at the instructions. So I'm going to click Turn In. Here's the assignment that I'm looking at. I'm going to click Submit. Remember, I need to upload my .cs file to Hypergrade to turn in my assignment. So an easy way to do that is to go to Visual Studio, right-click on my project, and say Open Folder in File Explorer. Let me go ahead and minimize Visual Studio. Now I have the File Explorer open right on top of Hypergrade, and I can just drag and drop my program file into Hypergrade. I've got it there. I'm going to look at the test case that the instructor has provided. It looks like the input used was 9 and 5. So I'm going to test my code. And with that input, it looks like we came out just fine. Hypergrade is mad at our read key statement, saying I have an infinite loop, but it's not causing any trouble. So I'm just going to ignore that. I think everything is good. All of my test cases passed. This question is complete. Congratulations, you finished the first project. Good job.